It's that time of year. Sorry about that. It is that time of the year for me. Gotta rewatch all the Spider-Man movies. What can I say? I'm about to rank them worst to best. Here we go. Coming in at number 8, I have Spider-Man Far From Home. None of these movies are bad. I'm just gonna get that out of the way right now. None of these movies are bad. Now, at the lowest of my list, though, Spider-Man Far From Home. I prefer my Spider-Man to be in New York. And, I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal did a good job as Mysterio. And, I mean, overall, the characters feel about the same as they did in Homecoming. I just feel like this movie is a little less. I prefer Peter's red and blue suit than the red and black. Not a bad movie. He finds his inner sense in this one. Other than that, I feel like it's one of the more forgetful ones. But it's still a good movie overall. I'll rewatch it anytime. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so yeah, number 8 spot. Now, don't hate me on this one, but number 7, I got Spider-Man Homecoming. And this is another one that just, when I watch a Spider-Man movie, I want it to feel more Spider-Man related. And I know they're both in the MCU, but Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home definitely feel like MCU movies. And I know No Way Home has that kind of problem too, but it's nice to see what was added into the movie. I'll get to that in a little bit. But, I mean, at least we actually get to see Peter in high school. Other than that, though, I mean, I forget most of the characters. I forget most of the moments in this. I do know for a fact that Vulture is, like, one of the top 4 live-action Spider-Man villains that we've seen on screen. It's always nice to see Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Other than that, don't really remember much from this movie. I'm rewatching them all, but this is just my ranking from what I remember. Now at number 6, this may be a hot take. Heck, I would have put it higher, but I would have started a civil war if I did that. I have The Amazing Spider-Man 2 at my number 6 spot. And I probably would have put it higher because over time, I have grown very fond of this movie. I remember watching, I kind of let other people control my rankings, like, way back when, and I would watch people like, certain YouTubers, I'm not going to name any names, but, they would always have The Amazing Spider-Man 2 at dead last, and I was always like, you know what, that'll be my dead last spot, because why not? And I've rewatched it a whole bunch over time, and I like it more and more. I think Electro is a phenomenal villain. I know a lot of people don't like his design. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but his backstory is amazing. He has a good reason to be, a good made-up reason to be fighting Spider-Man. I don't think that the Green Goblin was needed in this movie, though. If they had saved it for a movie afterwards, then I think it would have been pretty good. And they just focused on Electro in this, but they didn't go with that, so that's kind of what holds it back for me. Other than that, the soundtrack is a banger for this movie, and I feel like it is very overhated. At my number 5 spot, I have Spider-Man 2. This is another one that people are going to hate me on because a lot of people say it's the greatest superhero movie of all time. I have to disagree. I have never really been on board with Spider-Man 2. Don't get me wrong, I think Doc Ock is one of the best Spider-Man villains we've ever seen on the big screen. But other than that, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it. I just don't have a whole lot to say about this movie. I know Tobey Maguire's always good as Spider-Man. I think what really pissed me off the whole movie is probably MJ. I'm going to be honest, she is probably the worst love interest in the Spider-Man movie. She's a big narcissist. Like, she's always like, oh, you didn't do this for me, and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, sure, he bullies a lot of people in Spider-Man 3, but just watching her throughout the entire trilogy, she just pisses me off. Other than that, I don't remember a whole lot from this movie. Again, I'm rewatching them all coming up. But, I don't know, I've just never really been into this one that much. I feel like the movie can be very bland, and, like, the only scenes I really like is when Doc Ock and Spider-Man fight. Other than that, I'm just kind of like, eh. But, yeah, got that in my number 5 spot. Now, number 4. I have No Way Home in my number 4 spot. This used to be in my number 1 spot for the longest time. I think it was because I was so nostalgia blinded by both Spider-Man coming back and then, of course, all the villains. and I watched this for the first time. I was like, that is the best freaking Spider-Man movie I've ever seen in my life. And I kept thinking that to myself over time. And, I mean, it still holds up. I will still watch this any day of the week. It is still phenomenal. It's always a joy to see the three Spider-Men together. But, I mean, other than the two others showing back up and all the villains, the story is really bland. They did a decent enough job picking up after Far From Home. But, I mean, they didn't really go anywhere with the story. It was just a big final battle, which, I mean, nothing wrong with that, but kind of holds it back for me. Yeah, but I mean, this marked a great day in cinema history. In my number 3 spot, I have Sam Raimi's very first Spider-Man movie. And over time, this one was relatively low on my list, and it has slowly worked its way up. I see what it was trying to do, because Spider-Man had never gotten a live-action movie. I mean, other than, like, the weird 70s ones and that Japanese one. But for this to be the very first of its kind, it was a phenomenal hit. Willem Dafoe is easily the best on-screen Spider-Man villain we've ever got. Hands down, no questions asked, easily the best. I don't know how some people can argue that Doc Ock is the best, because Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin is something else. Like, Doc Ock is, like, here, and Green Goblin's, like, here. So that's really good. I love the origin story. Uncle Ben's death is super sad. I mean, it is in both The Amazing Spider-Man and in the first Spider-Man. And, I mean, overall, great story. Great start to this new world that we're introduced to. Aunt May is always a joy to see. And, yeah, that's what I got on my number 3 spot. Hate me for it if you want, but my second place spot, I have Spider-Man 3. This one has always been a favorite of mine. Sandman. I'm going to start there. Sandman should have been the one villain for this movie. Like, if they had split it up into 2 different parts, had Sandman in part 1 and then, like, Venom in part 2, then that would have been great. It does kind of feel overstuffed, but overall, I like Venom's design in this. I think they should have definitely given him a deeper voice. Maybe cut out less screeching, because I know he's all like the whole final battle and stuff. But overall, I mean, I do not hate this movie at all. This Spider-Man in this is amazing. The black suit, dude. Any time the black suit is on screen, that is a visual joy. Like, Spider-Man in his red and blue suit, I could watch that all day. But the black suit, I would probably be up like all night watching Spider-Man movies. Overall, though, I'd say we got a decent movie overall. I mean, the story kind of expands upon Spider-Man 1, where how it wasn't actually that one crook that killed Uncle Ben. It was actually Sandman, and Sandman wants forgiveness. He's just trying to help his dying daughter. Then you had Venom on top of that, and Venom's trying to manipulate an already emotionally damaged Sandman. And, I mean, it's good for what it is. It works really well. So, my number 2 spot, Spider-Man 3. At my number 1 spot, though, I have The Amazing Spider-Man, and this has always been a favorite of mine. I don't know what it is, whether it's the grittiness of the city and how it feels a little more darker toned, or how Spider-Man seems a lot like in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, his suit changes to fit the more friendly vibe. This one, his uncle just died, he's going through everything, and he made this suit, and this is like Spider-Man coming out for vengeance. Like, I like the design of this suit so much. I like the tinted eyes. I know a lot of people don't like it that much. I'm a personal fan of it. I think the Lizard, like, instead of making a remake of Sam Raimi's movie, they make their own. The Lizard being the main villain is still great to see. How Dr. Connors has, he kind of has a tie to Peter's family and stuff that happened in Oscorp, and you dive deep into, like, the lore already. Like, movie 1, and there's already lore. And then they tried to expand upon it in Amazing 2, and I don't know, it didn't work as well as the first one did, because now they're trying to make it seem like Peter was destined to be Spider-Man, even though he accidentally came across him in the first one. But yeah, this has, I mean, just take a look at this. I mean, look at that city. look at that Spider-Man.